Access Sacramento presents Home Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.
A cold front has gripped the greater Sacramento area for the past couple of weeks, but this evening indoors at Dave Hotel Pavilion here on the campus of Sacramento High School, Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week will go from warm to hot. Good evening and welcome to the fray this evening. Along with Lauren Goodman and Phil Oates, I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard, and we think we have a terrific CAL battle for you on tap tonight. The Capital Athletic League has undergone a realignment. As a result, more stronger teams have packed that particular league. Lauren, now you've seen all these teams in action for the most part. What do you see tonight with Sac High defending home court, and in their second league game tonight, Coach Woolman's Cougars have to go on the road to this big house?
It's two teams that are not coming in with their normal records of what they're known for, restarting and rebuilding, but tonight is going to be a feisty one on both sides of the ball.
Phil, you're close to that Capital Christian camp. They graduated virtually all their starting core and their top reserves. Coach Woolman is rebuilding, but still faced that dynamite non-league schedule against the Toughies in December.
I think what happened at Rio Linda was they looked at the 2 wins and 11 losses and kind of took the game for granted. And as Lauren will attest, when you play a tough schedule, you're going to may have a rough record, but when you come back to playing teams of your level and your ability, because Capital is rebuilding, those records can be deceiving. So I don't think Sac High is going to fall asleep the way maybe Rio did on Wednesday.
Well, let's take a look at the last time these two teams squared off. It was a few years ago, Lauren, and it was at the highly regarded St. Hope Elite Hoop Classic.
Well, Young and Hines were a duo unstoppable with the 34 points to spark the Dragons' rally. 6-point deficit comeback for the Dragons, so they know how to fight and are well tested.
Well, the last outings for these two teams were both league openers here in the Capital Athletic League. And Phil, you can see that the homes teams took care of business.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about winning at this stage of the game. To get your seeding, you have to win, especially when you've kind of had a losing preseason, then you better win the games in the league if you want to make the postseason.
Well, both of these coaches are chomping at the bit for tonight's square-off because this is a good battle. And certainly the impact players will always, as they do, hold a direct bearing on the outcome of the game. For the visiting Cougars, the crafty Cougars will have to take care of the rock tonight.
Well, the Cougars are a young squad, but they're more than ready to come in, like Coach talked about before, really battle-tested, and so they're developed into a good, fine group at this point in the season. Coach has them in the right positions to thrive.
Coach Woolman will counter, as you see there, Taylor, Johnson, and Alvarez. And for Sac High, Earl Allen, who's coming off a 20-point win over El Camino. His Dynamite Dragons will have to carry the load tonight here at home.
Yeah, and what strikes me about all the key players, you see a lot of non-seniors on that list. And something about young kids is they're kids, and they don't get overwhelmed, and they play with not a reckless abandon, but they play with a freedom. And I expect to see that on both teams tonight.
Well, we have the table set for you this evening here on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. When we come back, Lauren will dig a little bit deeper in tonight's matchup, particularly as the opposing coaches shake out in this CAL battle. Stay with us.
One in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome to the fray from Sacramento High School. This is Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, and we're going to toss our attention down to floor level and pick up Lauren Goodman. Goody?
Let's start with our coaching counterparts for tonight. 2 coaches, young at the tenured, but well-prepared coaches. First, for the visiting Cougars, we have McCole Woolman. He's coming in his second year, 27-20 since he's been at the helm, but last season he had a 22-9 record, and he's only 2-2 in the playoffs so far. Young coach, but well-prepared. For the home team tonight, we have the Mighty Dragons led by Earl Allen in his 3rd year here, 48-21, and as well similar records to McCall, 23-5 last season, and he's only coming in with a 1-2 playoff record. With tonight being a 7th meeting in the series history, back-to-back victories for both teams. These 2 teams are heavy hitters and known for the heavy names that have been on their series. So the series has been alternating back-to-back victory sequences, 2 for the Dragons in 08 and 2010. Then the Cougars stumped the Dragons 2 times in 2013. And the last victory and last meeting came by the Dragons when they won in 2015. Now back in 2013, there was a very close call between these 2 teams. Back in the Gridley Invitational, Capital snuck a 78-75 victory. Tyler Jennings scooped in 16 points. 4 of the Cougars were in double figures, while DJ Wilson had 13 rebounds to neutralize Solomon Young's 20 points and 6 rebounds. Sacramento leads this series 4-2. Will?
Thank you very much, Goody. Yes, that was a close one indeed. It's a 4-2 edge, Phil Oates, in the head-to-head matchups, but they haven't played in 3 years. So this is a very nice renewal of this matchup, and certainly the crowd continuing to stream in here to Hotel Pavilion. They should have some very nice entertainment tonight.
Yeah, those make me feel like a dinosaur. I saw Coach Swafford as I walked in tonight. We both laughed about the good times we've had here. I will say something about that rivalry war, though. There's always been a great respect between the 2 schools and the coaches of each school. And I think that made for a very healthy, someday rivalries can get carried away these days, and it was always a very healthy rivalry. We wanted to beat each other desperately, but when it was over, we shook hands and we're still friends.
Well said, Coach. Phil Oates, highly successful in a 4-year run earlier in the new millennium, setting the stage for this program's accelerated success. And as we get closer to game time here, let's take a look at what we consider the keys to tonight's contest, and of course we call that Goodies game at a glance.
The tempo from the beginning, who can get into their rhythm and play their style first. I think defense is going to be a very big factor. I know I talked to both coaches. They want to have a defensive presence, as well as who's going to out-hustle the other one. Who's going to get to those 50-50 plays and control it with their effort. That is going to be a big factor tonight.
The crowd continuing to get in position because this ball game is going to break out, and the officials are going to have their hands full. The NCOA has assigned 2 veterans, one of whom highly notable from Game of the Week coverage in years past, the El Camino Eagles, Kyle Baxter, whose father, Bill Baxter, still has 500-plus victories with the El Camino girls. By the way, Rob Carter, our referee, working with Kyle Baxter, who still is the regional leader in half-court shots. We're going to come right back for tonight's opening tip-off and take a look at starting lineups when we return.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Well, we're delighted to have you with us this evening here at Sacramento High School's Hotel Pavilion for tonight's Access Sacramento Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We've got a CAL doozy lined up for you. Host Sacramento taking on the invading Capital Christian Cougars.
Over here to the crowd, right now being introduced to your Capital
Tonight, the pleasure of working with Lauren Goodman and Phil Oates, the highly successful former head coach of these Cougars. So we're going to lay it down for you and then pick it back up and do it again. Let's take a look at our starting lineups in tonight's contest. First for the Cougars, a late switch at game time. Makai Morris will be starting at that guard position, along with Preston Hall and Jonah Alvarez getting a start tonight, a 3-guard formation. Evan Johnson and Leapin Kendall Taylor in the front. And for Earl Allen's 7-5 Sacramento Dragons, Miles Lewis on the point, working in the backcourt with Micah Scott Kelly, Isaiah Talmadge, a swing, and then in the front, a couple of 6'7", 6'6" post players, Peter Guananji, and we've got Garrett Richardson. Guananji and Richardson in the post. Hotel Pavilion, always a treat to visit, unlike any other arena or gym in this region. The oldest high school west of the Mississippi River, and this monument of a gymnasium, sufficient testimony to indicate its greatness. Spacious, cavernous, and...
Watch an iconic, again, make me feel old event. I actually saw in the 60s Bob Pettit and Wilt Chamberlain play on this court.
Well, I know what you mean. I got a chance to see the Warriors play the Pistons here, and the Warriors play the Knicks. And Dave DeBuscher was smoking like a chimney down in that corner. So here we go, opening tip-off. Richardson in the middle for sack, but we're going to have a redo here, I think, or just a violation on the jump ball. Out of bounds for the Dragons.
Jump quick, right?
So first possession going to the Dragons, and we are underway here at Sacramento High School. Two nights ago, Sac defeated El Camino, and on the same evening, Capital Christian took out Rio Americano. Both of those were 13-1 teams that were defeated.
Well, we'll see how the Dragons adjust to this 2-3 zone. El Camino did the same thing to them. We'll see how it impacts them.
Foul line jump shot around and off on the miss. Taken out there by point guard Miles Lewis.
Against that zone, Lauren, I think Wanji's got to penetrate like he did before and make them collapse and either kick or dish it off. If they do that, they'll be fine.
Both teams showing some good patience on first possessions, and both team one and done on outside shooting. So back come the Dragons, trying to get on the board here. Here's the cutter, and a sweet layup cashed in nicely that time by Isaiah Talmadge. And first blood to the Dragons. Morris getting a spot start tonight. Pass broken up, foot race after it.
Twice. Coming out, certainly, 30 seconds into the game, Sac High is the more aggressive team right now. They're trapping man, they're attacking the zone. So at least to begin with, Sac High is the aggressor.
Questionable judgment about not tracking down that loose ball that could have been controlled, and it went to Sac. Shot and a follow-up. Wow. Violation on the rim, 2 shots and done. Dragons still by 2.
And now you see the extended. Sac is just in a man-to-man run to jump. They try to get you, turn you, and as soon as you turn, here comes a double team.
Ten-second violation, turnover, Capital Christian. So the Dragons effective on their pressure there, strung it out, and got the 10-second call. Near side inbound, Micah Scott Kelly shoves it in. He's working in the backcourt with Miles Lewis.
I think Capital is on to something good. They just need to stay confident, even though it's slowing down the game. That's what they want to do to these Dragons.
Whistle and a foul on the Talmadge drive.
You can tell Morris is a fine player, but you can tell he's also a sophomore. A little apprehensive out there playing with the big boys, not attacking the press, realizing 10 seconds was expended.
Okay, fouls on Morris, non-shooting. Into the post, easy money. Undefended that time, and a big-time cash in there by Garrett Richardson. 4-0 Sac.
And Coach, Capital just needs to clear out. It's just a basic man-to-man. They can handle it once they get through.
Yeah, spacing's always been important against that Sac High press. If you get grouped together, you're in trouble.
Kick back to the corner. Alvarez sends it back on top there to Preston Hall. Down the slot, power drive, slapped out of there.
There was a lot of contact on that one.
Who's got the trailer, bobbled away, and it's a Sac turnover. Good transition defense by the Cougars. Preston left wide open, in and out, tough luck. On the miss there by Preston Hall. Sac turnover number 2.
I like that they're letting them play.
They sure are. It's almost like a boxing match where they're each feeling each other out right now. Nobody wants to throw a punch and be real aggressive. They just want to kind of.
Okay, so transition for Sac. I should say for Capital, the foul on Sac on Richardson right there with the brush. So at the stripe, Preston Hall drops number 1.
And
So
Preston Hall uses body right there, and he has great length and extension with the arms that people don't naturally have. So we'll see how that plays a factor in him getting to the line.
Cougars don't have any skyscrapers, but they're loaded with 6 threes and 6 fours as Hall clicks on 2 out of 2. Cougars on the board, now trailing 4-2.
You know, being the only senior out there, it's important for Preston to really be calm and selective, and there he almost got the interception.
Sack turnover number 3 and a driving scoop layoff off the left side, cashed in beautifully that time.
Now Capital's opening up in his own press. Looks like a 2-2-1.
Okay, spin the replay dial, and here it comes off the left side. Nice with the left. Evan Johnson with the bucket, and we're tied at 4.
Lauren, when you're the only senior on a team, or one or two seniors, how important is it for you to lead both by play and maturity and confidence?
You have to lead in every way. I was a senior as well, full of young group. You have to lead not only with your voice, but you have to lead with your actions.
Would you say that's true for both of these teams?
Absolutely. They both have a unique senior core that's very small, which requires you to motivate those guys. As you see Capital Christian, another young guy knocking down an easy shot.
So now they switch zone defenses or presses to a 1-2-2.
Flowers off the bench for a mid-range jumper, 6-4. Cougars have their first lead. And that's a 6-point run for Capital. Baseline J pops out. Run down nicely. Scott. And we got a whistle on the drive.
That was a good foul. That's a kid. You can't let Isaiah get in the air and make it showtime.
Especially have the depth that Capital has. They just can't give up layups. They're going to get beat on the boards, make them win it at the line.
So the foul is on Kendall Taylor, his first, second team foul. Talmadge misses on number 1. A 6-4 Capital Christian lead. We're on the flip side of quarter number 1 here from Dave Hotel Pavilion at Sac High. Bill Oates and Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James. Happy to have you along for the ride. 1 out of 2 for Talmadge. It pulls the Dragons within 1.
I'm anxious to see for Capital number 4, Trey Jones, play. He played football and the team went a long ways, and so he's a little late getting out. But he has been, I think, on varsity. This is his 3rd year. He's played a lot of minutes. You'll remember him from last year. And I'm interested to see if he can exert his authority out here.
Well, I got the opportunity to interview Trey Jones during football season. Standout talent. I know he's going to be a standout tonight.
Well, he's on the floor right now. Fast break layup missed. Follow up missed. 2 and out. So there's Trey Jones right there passing off. Flowers now steadies up. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. Slow in the scoring department. Both clubs feeling each other out, trying to shake off early game jitters. Flowers.
Good drive.
Darion Williams draws the foul.
He's a freshman.
And Coach McCall Woolman said that he's been their most consistent rebounder.
Well, he has the size to be a good rebounder and get position on.
Blocked out of there on the inside shot.
Good recovery.
Talmadge just elevated on that. Take it strong, Talmadge. Whistle and a foul against the Cougars.
And that's one of the singers for the Dragons who's leading his way in his play and his action, and he's a spark plug. Once he gets going, the Dragons get going.
Foul called on Sione Lose, his first. 4th team foul, both clubs with 4. Wow, a bucket off the inbound, undefended. Talmadge made him pay. He's got 5 of their 7. Fast break layup, a foul.
It was a good take by Johnson. Wish he didn't have a little bit of reluctancy and hesitation on that one. Probably would have got an and-1 bucket.
I might even have slowed down a little bit and tried to read the play. I think he had decided what he wanted to do, but he got the foul, and if he can convert here, then all's good. early on, Sakai's got such an advantage on the boards. Capital's going to have to rebound.
So Talmadge picked up the foul on that. Not a lot of contact, though. 2 out of 2. Good free throwing for the Cougars. 4 out of 4 so far, and it's an 8-7 lead for Capital. Talmadge has a shot rejected out of bounds.
And I think that was a mistake on the last foul. I think the last foul was on Miles Lewis, and they gave it to Talmadge.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Do they have official replay here like they do at Golden One?
We have our replay. Okay, there he is. Mays with a deep outside shot just off the back iron. Number 20 can light it up from the perimeter. Alex Mays, a sophomore. Losay bounces to Jones.
You talk about young talent. We're talking about Mays. Losay both just came into the game. Some sophomores, very talented, well put together for their skill level and their age.
So it'll be Capital ball inbound near side. So here's Flowers. Did not start tonight, generally does, but off the bench early on. Jones off his foot, retrieves. 1:40 left here in the opening stanza. Loose ball on the floor. Who wants it? There's a 50-50 ball. Sack got that one.
Sack's gotten to the most right now.
Zigzag move. Mays. Talmadge.
Capital back to a man-to-man now.
Lewis to Scott Kelly. Swinging around the horn. Baseline drive, well defended, put back, blocked. Follow, missed, put back down. What persistence there. Wenanji with a follow-up bucket.
And now one box out.
9-8, sacked by 1. A little bit of seesaw. Spin,
nice
sweep.
move. Nice move.
Daddy.
There's a young
Losay.
sophomore.
Or was that Mays?
Losay.
Losay. French pastry to the max. Talmadge.
And the difference is in the man right now. You see Capital really packing it in, not letting Sac get those extra drives with the help, and Sac kind of more spread out.
Talmadge a kick out. Jay on the way. A long range miss. That time by Lewis.
Lauren, do you think they're packing it is because of the height disadvantage?
It's smart. Sac wants to drive and play fast, and the way you slow him down is put the zone on him.
Outside gunning coming up big for the Cougars. On the run jumper, down at the buzzer by Talmadge after the bucket earlier by Johnson. We've played 1, and it's rolling along as we thought it would. Cougars up 1. We'll be right back.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Well, a hot first quarter to get things going after a little bit of a sluggish start. 13-12 visiting Capital Christian on top as we open quarter number 2. Host Sakai with first possession.
I've been tracking fast break points. I was surprised that's the first fast break basket Sakai's gotten out. Was at 3 at the end of the quarter.
Take it strong. Talmadge a miss. Nice defensive glass. Here's a run out. A bump, no call. Flowers gets it tapped away, but they control. Kendall Taylor drives and draws.
Now the good part, Coach, about having a young team is they've been playing together. They've been together. It kind of looks like familiar JV team, and now they're up. As you see Coach Woolman kind of taking a seat finally, but they kind of have some chemistry.
Yeah, there's a debate always. Do you bring all the young people up and let them play together and learn together, but you're going to be young. And I think you've seen that with the Kings. Yes, you do. And there's a little price to pay, a learning curve. But once you get past that learning curve, then you're in really good stead. Both of these teams may not be in the top 5 right now. I have no doubt they will be in the top 5 next year and the year after. And that's ultimately your goal.
On for the Dragons, James Terrell wearing 40. Scott Kelly sends it on the side to Talmadge, and he's doubled. They trapped him, but he gets rid of it. Mays now feeds Terrell, who gets it inside, and a kick out is a miss, but it's going to be a foul on the perimeter.
And that's one of those youth bonehead plays right there. Don't foul the shooter, let him come down and get his position.
Yeah. And I think that was an experienced play by the, I don't even know what level, what number 2 would be, a senior. Yeah, that's a senior play. He took the little bump when a younger guy avoids it and misses the shot.
So Talmadge clanks home the first, misses number 2, and he'll go for thirds. First foul on guard Caden Flowers of the Cougars. Two out of 3 for Talmadge as he bruises the rim pretty good, but gets a pair. 15-14, Cougars by 1.
Sakai in the zone now.
Corner J misses. Mays gathers and gets it to Talmadge. We're early here in the second quarter, things pretty tight. A loose ball and a turnover, number 4 for Sac here in the early going. Preston Hall back into the ball game for the Cougars. Kick out Flowers, a miss. Talmadge boards it. Well, he was riding him hard. Darion Williams was all over him.
Probably would have gotten away with that if it wasn't for the sideline, but once you bump him out of bounds, you have to call the foul.
I'd say that's a reasonable assessment.
Yeah, and I think that's when you got to release and cut him off to get that angle if you want to stop
that's
him.
what I was yelling last night when De'Aaron didn't get the call, and I felt he should have. So.
There's the cutter, the layup.
Yeah, nice play. That was the nicest play of the night, I think.
Miles Lewis with his first points, and it's a go-ahead bucket, 16-14. Dragons by 1. Extended perimeter pressure now by Sac, despite being in that zone. Hall down. Preston Hall.
Yeah, that was actually Mike. That
Correction.
was Alvarez.
It was Alvarez, the sophomore, number 10, with that bucket.
The only reason I know that, Will, is I've known him since he was born, so I have an affinity for the kid.
A shot and a miss. Rebound Terrell.
And there has to be some ice in his veins. He just shot a pull-up 3 right there.
Lob and a slam as Talmadge gripped it after the feed from Miles Lewis.
Yeah, thank you, NBA, on that, right?
That was a senior connection right there. 2 seniors know each other really well, as we're going to see right here on the instant replay. Lewis just knows Talmadge is going to be there.
That's it.
And he was. And as a result, we are tied at 18. So far, this game proceeding as we thought it would.
I'm surprised it's not a little faster up and down. Anybody else?
No, because this is new. This is new Capital. This is new Sac High. This is not old. I want to let all our viewers know this is a new regime. and these teams have two different styles. Yes, they're used to playing high and flying, and I think maybe in a year or two they'll be there. But right now, it's who's going to play the smartest game with the young players.
Stay controlled.
Stay controlled because you can keep the game close. When the game gets out of control, that's when coaches start getting worried.
Would you say that when you watch the Kings play when we get out of control?
No, because you guys need to play through it a little bit. Kings got to get through some wrinkles, and it's better there in the NBA level than it is right here on the high school level.
Coach Yeager would agree with you.
We have had 5 lead changes and 2 ties. Extended pressure by the Dragons. It's beaten up the floor. Here's Flowers. Despite being early in league play, this is an important game for both teams. They both figure to be challengers and contenders for the league title. Preston Hall, wheel and deal, short on the turnaround, out of bounds to Sac.
Sac-High's had a better preseason, I think, especially for Capital. I don't know what March is going to look like, but unless they win league, I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they have to win league to make the playoffs.
Or be in that top 2.
Yeah, at least the top 2, yeah.
Got to be in the top 2. This game, I'm glad it's intense. It reminds me of the old Hoop for Hungry days back in Capital when you wanted to see the Capital Sac-High matchup. So I'm glad the realignment got this rivalry back sparked.
Cam Williams has a jumper wiggle in. Up 2 are the Dragons. Another lead change. Feed the cutter.
Got to shoot that.
I think so. Again, an example of youth afraid to take the contact.
Yeah, I think tonight is going to be crucial for the younger players to have confidence. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now, Coach. I just think when the younger players have confidence to do what they're good at, be young and talented, they play at another level that matches this varsity expectation.
Free throw missed on the front end. It's bonus time. Alvarez missing there. There's the cutter, and Terrell has the layup.
Is that the younger brother of the Terrell that played here with Solomon?
Yes.
His brother was a very good player. I could see that in him too.
22-18 Sac. That's the Dragons' largest lead since 4-0. Down! Boy, that didn't last long.
No, Preston showed good maturity there. So you talked about confidence, Lauren. How do you get confidence if you're, Sac-High's been successful this year, but Capital has not. How do you get confidence when you're not being successful on the floor?
Coach, player mindset, I'm confident every time I step in the gym. Every time I'm on the floor, every time you get an opportunity to play, because just in the women's game there's so many ACL injuries. I've seen so many people's seasons be over in the blink of an eye. So when you got an opportunity to be on the court, which Coach Woolman is playing everybody, getting everybody good touches, you got to go out there and ball out.
Driving layup missed. Trey Jones got in there but couldn't finish, and a foul in the aftermath.
I think for both of these teams, as they get into the league and they start winning, that will help them have confidence in their moves as they're having success.
Understand, both of these coaches know with the tough preseason, that's what it's built for. Preseason is develop you. There's 3 seasons. There's preseason, there's regular season, there's postseason. And preseason is over. It's a new season. Me and Will talked about this the other day. They're both 1-0, and now you need to build on that.
So Miles Lewis drops a free throw. He'll be up there for seconds, and it stretches the lead back to 2. This game's been tight all the way so far with several lead changes, 2 out of 2. So a 4-point quarter for Lewis. foul on the drive. Cam Williams was there.
I think you're talking about the lack of fast breaks. Both teams are doing a very good job transitionally. They're getting 2 and 3 people back to slow each other up a little bit, I think.
And I think both coaches are being honest about where they're at. Hey,
yep.
Don't fight after offensive rebounds. Get back and let's play defense. You give yourself a chance of being in the game instead of pressuring the ball 94 feet.
Good point.
So the front end free throw missed by Trey, but the ball out of bounds to the Cougars if somebody wants to send it in.
I think there's water on the floor, so they're trying to get that fixed.
2:44, flip side, quarter 2. We're at Hotel Pavilion this evening for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Sacramento High, the host, the Dragons right now, up 3 on visiting Capital Christian. 2 of the teams in the realigned Capital Athletic League that now also includes challengers Rio Americano, El Camino, and a very tough Vista del Lago ball club that led Grant late in the 4th quarter at that Cordova Classic we covered.
Coached by former Capital coach Tim Bouware. Well, I'm old again. I coached him in El Dorado.
A shot rejected out of there. Goes to the Dragons. Deflected away. Terrell's pass may have gotten through had it been a bounce pass.
Got a little home cooking in the pavilion right now.
2:33 left here in the second. Dragons up 3. Their largest lead has been 4. Capital Christian's largest advantage, not quite that much, 2. Gee whiz, deflected out of bounds on the
Little of the pavilion home cooking. I don't know what it is about playing in this gym, reffing in this gym, being in this gym, but it's always some home cooking going on.
Out on the perimeter, Miles Lewis resets. Defended by Flowers, a blow by and a layup missed. Whistle and a travel. It's turnover number 5 on Sac.
There was a little extra step in there.
So an important possession for the Cougars, down just 3, but in a position here to draw close or tie it.
I just feel like Sac High's controlling the game.
Shot blocked out of there on the runner by Hall. 2 rejections in the last 2 times down. Lob, miss. Miscommunication by 2 Dragons. Fast break the other way. A poor pass out of bounds by Trey Jones.
And that was the freshman, number 25 for Dragons, getting in Isaiah's way.
Talmadge wasn't real delighted the way that turned out. He thought he was going to have himself another slam.
But when you got trees, everybody kind of just look for their opportunity to slam it.
Travel. Marcellus Franklin with the shuffle. Turnover number 7 on the Dragons.
You see Coach Burrell, longtime assistant coach with Coach Earl.
Wow, bump and run. Layup wiggles out. Tough luck on a miss there by Evan Johnson. Turnover, Sac.
Advantage going to Sac. They have more blocks right now.
Yeah.
Left open, down. Deep range gunning. That one dropped home sweet by Makai Morris.
Without looking at the stats, I would think Capital's winning the battle of the threes. But Sac High's getting the boards.
And the blocks.
And the blocks, but probably more turnovers too.
That's a fact. Terrell to Talmadge. Just a minute left here in the half. A tie game at 24 all. Jump shot on the way is a long miss. Rebound yanked down by Darion Williams.
Good crossover.
Send it up the floor, layup missed.
Right in front of Baxter.
Tip, maybe block.
Yeah, that was a good play. Right in front of the official, he said no foul. Let him play, I like that.
Open daylight shooting, a miss. Cougars on the board, tough, and we got a rebound, correction, a timeout signaled for by Coach Woolman. It comes at the 28-second mark and deadlocked again at 24.
So, Lauren, I respect your opinion. What statistic at halftime are you most interested in looking at?
Offensive rebounds.
I was going to say rebounds.
Offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Because they're getting second chance opportunities. I think Sac probably has a little edge right now. If Capital can just slow their gear, get them in the air, they're flying and committing to it. So get them in the air, then just go ahead and take that contact and get to the free throw line. They've been successful shooting a very high percentage tonight. They need to find a way to get Sac High in the air, commit, and then get to the free throw line.
Yeah, I agree. My stat at second would be turnovers, because anytime you make a turnovers, you're forfeiting any chance to score even a point. You're forfeiting a chance to get a foul. You can't give up those turnovers.
No, if you know who's winning the rebounding battle as well as who has the least amount of turnovers, you're going to have a better chance of being in the game.
I'll refer to the Kings quite a bit. I like what we're doing this year in terms of even though we play fast, we don't turn the ball over a lot. But we learned, like last night when we played Denver, you got to rebound the ball. You're just giving them too many opportunities, and at every level, high school, college, pro, they're going to take advantage of it ultimately.
28 seconds left here in the half. Want to remind you, Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our head coaches at the intermission, so you certainly want to hear those comments. But right now, Capital up the floor with a chance to bust this tie. 20 seconds.
Let's see what time on the clock do they start. I think too often teams start too late on the shot clock. I'd like to start with 10 seconds. See, we're at 7. We've not done anything yet. And so they end up.
Corner shot by Jones is missed, and there is a buzzer ending the first half of play, and it was tight all the way. And it's deadlocked at 24. And that sets the stage for a second half that should be full of adventure, Coach.
My hat's off to you, Mr. James. You said this was going to be a close game, and it doesn't come any closer than tied at halftime.
Well, and I think the crowd is enjoying this type of a ball game. It might have them a little nervous, but certainly.
I'll tell you, I'm not as nervous up here as I am down there. So,
Well, I can see that Lauren has caught up with Coach Woolman, and momentarily we'll direct our attention down to floor level, where she is standing by with the Capital Christian coach. Lauren?
Coach, where you broke even there, what was the key to your success on offense?
Well, the key to our success will be ball movement, just kind of getting the defense in a scramble and just playing together.
What adjustments do you feel like your team needs to make coming out in the third quarter to make a difference to break away?
Oh, we got to be a lot more alert on defense. Bump cutters, they're an aggressive team getting to the hole, so we really just got to close up the paint, strengthen our defense.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Will?
Okay, thank you, Lauren. Short and sweet. He recognized a couple areas there that needed some fine-tuning.
Do you remember when Lauren said Capital was doing a good job of falling into the key and defending? That's exactly what Coach Woolman meant when he said shrink.
Well, I love those comments from my two analysts tonight. We're going to step back and take a little pause here away from the action and come right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things.
2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks.
Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator.
My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school.
Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking?
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back. We're at Sacramento High School this evening for Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, and we have a tie at the intermission with Phil Oates and Lauren Goodman. I'm Will James, and Phil, we were treated to a first half where neither team was able to break away by more than 4 points. Little mini spurts to keep things tight, but several lead changes as well.
Well, what I was looking for was some of the seniors to really exert their experience. And quite frankly, I didn't see it.
Well,
the sophomores did just great.
It would be interesting to hear what the dialogue would be like in the locker rooms. But we had mentioned earlier in the evening the realignment of the Capital Athletic League. And we see here by our graphic that from top to bottom, historically and at present, we've only got one team below 500 there, and Christian Brothers is usually a tough opponent.
Well, 2 teams below 500 because you got to count Capital.
Yes, I see now.
Let's put it this way. Capital's fuel bill for athletics was just cut in third because they swapped out Dixon, Marysville, and Lyndhurst and got Rio Americano, Christian Brothers, Sakai. And I will tell you, everybody at Capital is thrilled. They know that this league is going to be much more difficult, but just the geographic difference is huge.
Now talk about those 3 swap outs, and we're talking about actual road trips that now have been trimmed from Capital's schedule.
Well, sure. I mean, just think of the bus trip you're taking, not just basketball, but you've got all your sports. Think of the fuel that school expended to go to Marysville and Lyndhurst. Those are long trips. That's probably what you got to go to El Camino, Rio, and Christian Brothers combined is less than that. So apart from just their more recognizable schools, and you're going to get a better following, and it was just the right move that the CIF did.
And if we look at those records by Rio and El Camino, those are breakout starts in non-league to get them in a position to battle here in the Cal. And Vista, about as tough as they come.
Yeah, I remember I coached a small college where we didn't get a lot of wins, and I had to make a schedule that got us some wins. And I think that's what El Camino, Rio, a lot of those teams did. They needed to develop the confidence in their program, where Sakai and Capital have confidence in their program. They're just going to go play the best.
Well, it always shakes things up and makes things interesting when we have a realignment, and this year is no exception. Stay with us, because when we come back after this break, we'll have more for you from Sacramento High School and Dave Hotel Pavilion in this CAL collision. Sakai hosting Capital Christian. We'll be right back.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you look. From losing your hair, even your eyebrows, to changes in your skin and nails, cancer treatment can rob you of your confidence and self-esteem. But Look Good, Feel Better changes all that. More than 800,000 women have learned how to address the appearance side effects of cancer treatment through our workshops. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a free workshop near you. Let Look Good, Feel Better help you feel like you again.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week is coming from Sacramento High School, Dave Hotel Pavilion, along with Phil Oates. I'm Will James, and we're going to bounce our attention downstairs to floor level where Lauren Goodman is speaking with Sac High coach Earl Allen. Lauren?
Well, Coach, you guys broke even. How did your defense create opportunities for you?
Well, I've been harping on my team the past 3 or 4 games about our defense on the perimeter. It's been horrible. But tonight they came out motivated, and we're stopping penetration. We're not allowing too many rim runs, so I'm pleased with that.
Coach, what adjustment do you feel like your team needs to make immediately to break out this even tie?
Well, you got 2 good teams slugging it out. Everybody thought this was going to be a track meet up and down, but it's a real chess match out there. So we just got to keep making the right moves. We got careless at the end. Last 2 minutes, we're up 4, and we took some bad shots, and it cost us, and that's why we're tied.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Will?
Thank you, Lauren. Coach Oates, he was referring to that 22-18 lead he had nearing the end of the half. And bad passes, turnovers, shaky play resulted in Capital putting together a couple of buckets to draw even. So that's the way the first half played out. And in reference to his comment about the perimeter defense by the guards, and I too expected track meet and up and down.
Me too.
I definitely did, but as we see here, 24 points for both of these ball clubs that do know how to put the ball in the hoop. I guess we have to salute the defense. Lauren is back with us now, and we were reflecting earlier on Coach Woolman's and the Cougars' 4-11 mark coming into this ball game, and it wouldn't have been that way had a few more things gone his way. If we look at the Cougars' tough losses in the first part of the season, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ball games that could have gone either way, and if you just split them, then you're looking at an entirely different perspective when you look at their one-loss record, Phil.
Well, and I think you have to realize they're young, and I think that if those games are played next year, they're going to figure out how to win them. So I find it real encouraging because those are all top-flight teams you're looking at, teams that will be battling not only in the sections but in the NorCals. And they're able to at least slug it out with them now, and now the next step is to figure out how to win it.
I felt the same way, Coach. I did not get worried about their schedule or their losses at all, just because if basketball wasn't based off wins and losses, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I think that when your team is developing and growing and getting better, that's what all matters at the end of the day, if you can get better. And so Coach is doing that right now.
Well, we are underway here to open the third quarter, a 24-24 tie. And this is the second game of league play for each of these teams, but a whistle stops play.
Shot clock was not operating properly.
And the music was still playing.
Yeah, that's against the rules, I think, isn't it? You have to have silence from the mic.
I would have to say that the officials started the half prematurely. Inbound to Flowers. He works the baseline and throws it away. On the run, Scott Kelly got it. Not the way you want to start a half if you're Capital.
No, I like Flowers, but that was just an immature pass, and he'll do better as he plays more games.
We were tied at 24 all. Straight away, Jay, a miss out there, taken by Kendall Taylor. Push it up the floor. Talmadge, who had a big first half, led everybody with 12 points, 12 of their 24.
Well, he knows his role as a senior. He's stepping up big so far as he was coming out of the locker room. Coaches were in his ear, so he knows what type of load he has.
Jump shot drained, deep three ball off the left wing by Micah Scott Kelly.
And that's somebody the Cougars does not want to see get started. He got the easy layup on the defensive bucket, and now he's hitting the three. He's kind of starting to feel it.
Sometimes all you need is that layup and get you going.
Drive by Hall, miss, but he draws a foul.
And Coach, that was another one where I think he could have kind of got him in the air. He went against Richardson, who doesn't have the same athleticism as the other two, but I think, that was almost a block.
Jump stop and pump fake.
Get him in the air.
I think it's got to be tough on Preston because he's used to having his maturity around him, and I've been impressed tonight.
Let's take another look at that drive. They called the foul on Cam Williams, number 30.
Who's not even in the game right now.
No, he's not. Okay, I guess they corrected that now, and they did give it to Richardson. His third, a point of concern for Coach Allen. 3 fouls on starting center Garrett Richardson. Talmadge works inside and draws a foul.
Coach doesn't have to be too worried, but there should be some reservation just because Richardson allows him to get more offensive rebounds when he's not in the game. You kind of take that aspect away.
Capital's given up a lot of baseline drives tonight, and I know that's easier said. Preventing that's easier said than done, but they've got to take. I don't think that's Coach McCall's philosophy, and they need to take away that baseline.
There you see the Cougars coach standing there in front of that Capital Christian bench. We're just underway here in the third quarter, 6:20, clock rolling. Sac on top by 4. Pull up Jay, pops out, back rim, no.
Yeah.
That's
nice charge.
Way to sacrifice.
Peter Wananji.
You actually see Coach Woolman clapping there, a little enthusiasm, both teams. I think Coach Allen, as we'll see the charge right here, outside of the key. We had a few charges last week, and we were talking about this. Get outside the key so you can guarantee get that charge.
Yeah, in the old days, when I played, you could park yourself under the basket, and so when guys made the layup, you got the charge after the basket at least. They don't. That was, they don't like that. It hurts people, and it takes away the drive.
Non-shooting, so they beat the press up the floor. Flowers handling on the point. Cougars down 4. Tough luck on the Hall drive. Tip in, missed. Good effort there by Kendall Taylor, but it wouldn't go. Talmadge.
Laura, are you surprised Sac High isn't continuing to press? They haven't pressed since the early moments.
I am, and that may be a second half adjustment. Guys getting a little tired, guys getting a little winded. So maybe as you see Coach Earl right here instructing and talking to Richardson, you may see it come sporadically as the game changes.
Talmadge knocks down number 1, his 13th point.
And that's what they did against El Camino on Wednesday night. They kind of started even, kill, and then right when they were right and close to step on the pedal, they turned it on.
Right.
2 out of 2 for Talmadge.
Here we go. There's your presser.
Into Flowers, then they trap. Straight away, Jay, short, a miss. Who wants it? There's another 50-50 to Sack. Layup, wiggles out. Out of bounds to Sack.
Sack just seems to be the aggressor. They just seem to get the 50-50 balls, like you pointed out early, the 50-50 rebounds. Sakai just seems to be a little more assertive right now, and I think that's going to bode them very well.
Talmadge is looking hungry, feeds the cutter. Back to Talmadge, open daylight shooting. Pow! 3
Give that
ball.
kid the ball.
34-25, largest lead for either team.
Capitals outscored 9-0 to start the second half.
5 by Scott Kelly, and the rest by Talmadge.
I'm sorry, 10-1.
Flowers. A miss from deep outside, leap and rebound taken down by Miles Lewis. Sack on the attack. Loose ball stripped away. Turnover number 10 on the Dragons.
Capital needed that.
Yes. Only good if they could convert on it, though. Oh, nice pass.
Yes, it was.
Nice pass by Micah.
And maybe,
or Jonah.
Maybe, Coach, that Capital needs to play faster, and they need to pick up their tempo so they can be in this game.
Sorry about that, Jonah. I called him by his brother's name.
Whistle and a foul. Hard-working Peter Guananji draws the foul. They're going to call it on Kendall Taylor, number 3.
I like him. He's quick. He's good size, 6'5". He could maybe play the small forward shooting guard at the next level.
Got to develop, got to be able to put the ball on the floor a little bit more. I think right now Sakai is just having an advantage of him being tall and big. And tall and big in high school is effective. But for him to play at the next level, I think he needs to work on his game, kind of pull it out, have some face-up game, I think, and then he can definitely be a spark.
Are his feet pretty quick?
It looked pretty good.
If he's got quick feet, they can get the other. That's, to me, that's the essential what you got to do when you're mid-sized.
So Richardson out, Terrell in for Sack.
And we haven't seen a lot of Alex Mays tonight.
No, we haven't. 1 out of 2. Rebound, Talmadge, put back. No. Another rebounding foul inside against the Dragons. It's been an 11-3 burst since the intermission to put Sack on top by 8. Jumper missed. Lose working hard in there, draws a foul.
That's a couple possessions in a row they've attacked at that free throw dotted line, and that's just a difficult place on the floor to defend because you can go either direction, including straight. And
Lose has a package right now. He's kind of getting them in the air. I don't want Capital to settle down. This is a tricky gym, okay? I don't want them to settle for that jumper. It's open right now because the trees are down there, but they got to make some of them.
So you've referred to it a couple times tonight. When you say tricky gym, what is it that you mean?
I think this is one of second to maybe Arco and Golden One as far as the way the setup of the gym is, the way the rims are with not a necessarily close back wall.
The depth of the back.
Depth of the backboard, as well as the gym. Larger gym, definitely size is bigger, plays a factor.
Talmadge again, scoring for Sac, up 10. Capital in a rut right now, needs to close out this quarter. That's a sweet drive right there, a blow-by by Flowers.
I think Flowers is going to be a very nice player. He's active.
Outside gunning, that one dropped down by Scott Kelly. At the other end, jackknife move, a miss, but a drawn foul. Rio Britton to the stripe.
Coach, is that what you're talking about right there? Taking the foul, drive at him, and pump fake and take the hit and maybe get an and one?
Historically, okay, and that's from when I even attended this school. Historically, as you see Coach Earl getting on him right now for that foul, Sac has never had control with their big guys not being able to be good shot blockers. And when I'm saying a good shot blocker, I'm talking about not fouling, not swiping, not going for balls that are out of your range. They've never really had that. And so they've had size and athleticism. When you're big and athletic, you swipe at everything. You jump for everything. If 3/4 of the basketball game, Capital hasn't realized yet, they're swiping at everything.
Right.
And what that does is an intimidator factor is Sacs now has Capital reserved, shooting these little soft mid-range jumpers, which is a good read, but there's other ways you can be effective and get to the line, especially when they're swiping like they are. You can get opportunities to get them in foul trouble and get to the free throw line.
Yeah, I used to try, I agree with you. We used to try to teach, go straight up and block it down. You block it out of bounds, what's accomplished? It's still the person's ball, still an opportunity to score. Now you can block it and control it or keep it in play, then that becomes a whole nother issue. And so I think you're 100% right, Coach.
You hear these references to Coach. We've got two very highly successful coaches doing the analytical contributions tonight. Lauren Goodwin, the Monterey Trail girls varsity and Delta League Coach of the Year, and Mr. Phil Oates at the helm of Capital Christian for 4 successful years.
But I never got Coach of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Look, I never got to have at least almost 60% winning record, so Coach, congratulations to yourself.
You're funny.
Out of bounds to Sac after a pair of free throws from young Rio Britton. Pulls the Cougars within 7.
And the Cougars are right where they want to be, Coach. I think they need to kind of put the gas, put the pedal to the metal for themselves right now and kind of turn it up and show what they're capable of.
Nice discretion there and a soft jumper by Micah Scott Kelly. He pulled it back on the fake 3 and got closer. And there you see him take a charge.
It's been a big quarter for that kid.
Fouls on Sione Lose, number 2. So
I'll give you a stat that the Kings keep that is a new stat, at least to me. They track how many times they stop 3 consecutive possessions, because I feel that's the key to a run, is consecutive stops, not, and then how many are you going to make in a game. And I know the Kings want 8 to 10 a game. And so as you look at that, that's 1 stop for Sac High now, but they didn't score, but that's okay. They stopped them. So that's 1 stop for Rio, or for Capital. Let's see how they do.
Down.
So they were down 9. That's 1 stop. Here's the second possession.
Loose ball on the floor.
So that would be 2 stops.
Take it strong, a missed drive there by Makai Morris, but they steal it away. Feed the cutter, layup, down.
There's your 3 stops, so now you count again.
And now it's another thing, Coach, we've been talking about peaks and valleys. Now Capital's in a peak, but they come right there. Isaiah doing what he does best.
43-37, they're trading buckets. Cougars within 6 now. Sione Lose with the rock, defended by Talmadge. A minute to go here in the 3rd. Out of bounds, it's a Capital turnover.
A young guy, you gotta have some confidence right there. He kind of got a little worried when Talmadge got on him, and then you see the dribble off of his leg.
Spin the replay dial.
And again, you see the connection, Lewis to Talmadge.
Pair of slams tonight for Talmadge. He's got 21 points to go.
I think the difference in this quarter is Scott Kelly with the 10 points.
Wow! A screaming layup, and he draws a foul on an acrobatic play at full speed. That was just particularly impressive by Flowers.
And I'm going to have to say maybe that's the guy's version of up and under right there. You see the athleticism, the hang time, and getting that wraparound to get the and one bucket.
Gwananji called for his second foul. Free throw, Flowers, short.
Flowers got to make that free throw.
Yeah, that was an important one. Just kind of keep momentum going, huh?
43-39. Cougars creeping closer. Driving layup, missed. Rebound, nice work on the defensive glass.
And it's unfortunate to see Lewis not be able to get that one in. He's been struggling tonight.
Corner jump shot missed. Nice offside board. And the Cougars reload. 15 seconds to go. Deep J, short. Tracked down there by Scott Kelly. Here come the Dragons. Layup is good by Miles Lewis.
You needed to see that one go in.
2 seconds. Blocked away. We have played 3. And at Sakai's Hotel Pavilion, the host Dragons on top, 45-39. We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. We open fourth quarter action tonight here from Hotel Pavilion at Sakai, and the Dragons have broken out to a 45-39 lead after being deadlocked at the half. And credit a flurry of points from Isaiah Talmadge and Micah Scott Kelly for being the scoring influence to produce that lead. Unofficially, Sakai 14 turnovers, Capital 7. There's another turnover. Make it 15. Dump it low, tapped away. A bump, no call. Letting them play. That's a turnover. Loose play. Alex Mays gives it up to Gwananji, and they resettle. Just underway here in the fourth. The runner pops out on the shot by Talmadge.
Talmadge is kind of maybe be gassed when you're watching in this fourth quarter because he's kind of giving everything for the Dragons to have this lead.
Kendall Taylor missed the cripple right inside. Put back missed. Point blank range by Darion Williams.
Coach Woolman, that was a good play.
Yeah, I mean, it's you got to finish it. You got to finish it. That's the reality of it.
47-39.
I think Capital went through about 3 minutes there, really of taking rush shots, and not that last shot, but you know, trying to force action.
Another turnover and a hard fall right there.
Good sportsmanship by number 2.
That would be Evan Johnson.
So it's going to send the big man, Peter Guananji, to the stripe, where this evening he's 1 out of 2 from up there.
He's kind of broke out in the second half as Richardson's kind of been in foul trouble and on the bench.
The foul called on Evan Johnson, his second. Number 2 on the way, got it.
And it would be really nice for the Cougars right now to kind of not have any fear, let go of the Sac-High Dragon name and kind of just go out there and play.
If they can get good shots, they may not make them all, but if they can get good shots in every possession, they might be okay. But they can't throw up low percentage shots.
They've got plenty of time to work,
Sure
still better than 6 minutes. Losay. There's an elbow jump shot, missed, 1 and done. Richardson a rebound after the miss by Williams.
I mean, I'm okay with that shot. He may be a freshman, but I'm still okay with that. He looked balanced.
I don't believe Alex Mays has even taken a shot in tonight's game.
I haven't seen him knock one down yet. But Coach, you're right. That wasn't a bad shot. I'm upset with his effort after. He didn't get boxed out. Nobody stopped him. Go get the ball, put it back up. At this point in the game, you got to have those intangibles.
That shot was well defended, and it's a rebound for Capital Christian, and a hard fall right there in the key.
If you get a chance to watch a Milwaukee Buck game, one of our former players you talked about earlier, DJ Wilson, plays for Milwaukee now, and they have done a marvelous job of teaching DJ to attack every rebound. Even if you feel you're out of the play, don't stand and watch, go attack. And that's got him in the rotation.
I think that's just tremendous. If I recall correctly, he had the scholarship to Michigan, correct?
Correct. Nobody really wanted him. Junior year, he hurt his back, and he had some people interested, but he went somewhere, and Coach Beeline came out here and talked to his coaches, and we all loved him, and it ended up being a great decision.
Corner jump shot missed flat by Miles Lewis, but he rebounds and misses again. Third try, missed, but a foul on the Richardson offensive board.
And that's what Richardson does. He got the crowd hyped because he has the ability to create more possessions for the Dragons by getting those offensive rebounds.
Yeah. So much of all this, Will and Lauren, is timing. DJ comes out because he felt he'd go in the first round, and he did. Wonderful decision. Will, you'll remember Ivan Rapp because they went head-to-head. He doesn't come out of Cal and ends up being a second-round draft pick, and he's with Memphis, but he's not getting any run with Memphis. So it's all about timing in a lot of cases.
Richardson, 1 out of 2, lane violation. He'll go for thirds here. So the Cougars, guilty there in the lane, might cost him a point. .446 as we near midway fourth here at Sacramento High School's Hotel Pavilion, and it does cost him a point. 2 out of 2, make it 50-41. Full speed down the slot. Tough luck on the miss there. Williams boards it, and they feed it low inside. Layup down.
Just a little bit of pump, just a little bit of hang
Evan
can be
Johnson.
the difference.
50-43. Lewis comes back out with the rock. Here's Talmadge.
It's a big possession, I think.
And I think Hall should jam Terrell. You see Coach Allen not happy with the Dragons right now, needs a quick 30. I think he needed to jam him up quick. I think we need to get some 5-second counts. Again, the intangibles in those 50-50 plays can be important right now.
Is the shot clock supposed to be reset because it's a time? Oh, there we go.
Well, as you know, we always pick players of the game, one from each team after we assess their measure of efficiency, and Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our players of the game in our post-game segment. So, several players under consideration as we think it over and have our ballots in readiness to be filled out. For Sacramento High School, they have had a supreme offensive contribution from Isaiah Talmadge. He had 12 in the first half, including a slam, and here in the second, 9 in the second half, including another slam, 21 on the evening. So we're halfway home at the 4-minute mark. 7-point cushion for Sac down the slot. He loses it. Pull up J, missed, one and done. Talmadge steps through traffic, misses the runner.
There's quite a few steps on these Euro steps and these pro hops.
Officials are letting them play. Letting them use that pro step too.
And that's what's so tricky when you don't have ref consistency. One game you'll be able to do a move or do something or wear something, and then the next game you'll have a different set of refs and it'll be different.
Well, you don't know how to coach your kids.
Yeah.
These are two good coaches. They'll coach according to the rules, just make the rules consistent.
You see Coach Woolman right now trying to talk his defense up.
The runner rattles home. Cashed in there by point guard Miles Lewis. 52-43. Nothing doing. Hard fall in the key. Here come the Dragons. Pull up jumper Lewis. Down. Well, the Cougars are going to have to fast break everything they get their hands on from here on out. Down by 11. Flowers drives and draws.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think we're at the point now where the clock is also your opponent, not just the other bench. Would you agree at this time?
I would agree. I think they're not playing their style of basketball this season. I know you want to clean them up and have them playing discipline, but they got to be who they are right now. They're young sophomores, and I think that's also the difference in the game. You have sophomores and juniors against seniors and juniors.
Nice bank on the drive by Flowers.
Let's go back to the three-stop philosophy and see if they stop them 3 times.
It was almost a travel. Good time now, Coach.
That was a good play.
2:37 left in this one as we see that Dragon bench area and their huddle. Dragons up by 9. He's done a nice job maintaining that little bit of cushion that was produced early in the third quarter when Talmadge broke out with 2 free throws, a 3-ball, another deuce, and a slam.
Talmadge and then Micah Scott Kelly. They both had big-time quarters. You can't give up 10. You can't give up. You can't give up those type of numbers to guys who haven't been effective the whole game. I can respect you guys giving Talmadge whatever he wants, and that's fine. But if Talmadge gets his, everybody else has to be shut down.
Back to action. Sac on the attack. In control at the 2.5-minute mark. Drive it strong and lay it home. Boy, I'll tell you, that was beautifully done by Miles Lewis. He's got 6 in the quarter, 12 for the game.
And coach is encouraging him to work on his defense right now. I think he just needs to step up and have some confidence.
Down.
Good shot, Jonah.
And this Jonah kid is kind of special, Coach. We've been seeing a special group of freshmen and sophomores lately that can play, and this kid's jumper is looking nice.
That's his second 3-ball this evening. Bad pass. That's a turnover. Up the floor. Stop and go. kick ball.
I'm partial to Jonah because his family was all outstanding soccer players, and at an early age, his father's a great soccer coach, but at an early age he went basketball, so he became my favorite Alvarez.
All right. Well, he's clicked on a couple of 3 balls. Williams steadies and fires. That's a miss. Dust off the rebound. Nicely done by Peter Quinanji. Up the floor, Miles Lewis. Minute and a half to go. The lead looks almost safe. At the foul line, Quinanji misses on the drive. Rebound pulled away. Here come the Cougars. Lead pass, Flowers. Got it. 56-50, 1:10 to go.
They've got to shut him out from here.
And this is an interesting area right now. Capital has to step up and show it on defense, and the Dragons need to be under control to secure this win.
Don't foul him now because of clutch. See, that's a pet peeve is you yell when you get it down to that low on the shot clock, then keep playing defense and don't give them anything.
I think that was a little back to the home cooking. That was kind of late on that call. You see Coach Allen very intense with his team right now as they need to take care of the ball. Coach Woolman even looked on that last play like, whoa, that was kind of a late call. So just the best part about playing at home.
Well, and there's your rims.
Isaiah Talmadge leaving his mark on this game with free throwing now. 22 points, a couple of slams, a 3 ball. 1 out of 2. 57-50. Capital's got to hustle. Losey. Alvarez. Losey drive Talmadge. Layup. Missed. Good fight for the rebound. And it'll go to Capital. Again, I want to remind you, we have a timeout here, but Lauren Goodman will indeed be interviewing our players of the game. We have filled out our ballot. I think we've got a couple of outstanding student athletes to honor in that fashion.
Well, you know, you feel like the game is over, but it's only a 3-possession game. You score, you foul, it's the front end of one-on-one. I mean, if they make their free throws, it's over, but I've seen stranger things happen in a 7-point deficit.
I'm probably one of the most optimistic coaches in America. I think I have a chance to the second.
Exactly.
Out, so
you always
game is never over.
You always find a pathway until that goes 0-0-0, and then you go, okay. I agree with you.
Yes, I started getting an idea of how much you could get out of how little time when I heard Hubie Brown say, 11 seconds is a lifetime, you guys.
But you got to be able to score this thing in 5. This has got to go right here. That's got to go.
Down.
It did. All right, here we go.
Is that a miss or no?
Oh, I thought that was in.
Me too. What a scramble.
Is that the home cooking she's talking about?
Possession arrow to Capital, but I thought that was in the bucket. They're going to call a held ball, possession to the Cougars.
Well, Will, next time Sacramento Access needs to pay for better seats.
They have 23.9, down 7. They could really help themselves with a quick bucket right here.
Got him. Got to go up with it. Go up with it, son.
There it is. Short. Nice closeout. Alvarez kept alive.
Oh.
And that's probably going to be a foul against Zach. Richardson trampled the smaller player, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be bonus for Capital. Again, very much a long shot, but you make these 2, you foul, rebound, foul. You make 1 or 2 baskets of 3, and we get to enjoy each other a little longer.
There it is. So you see Coach Allen along that sack bench with the hand motions there. It's bonus free throwing upcoming now. 1-and-1 style. 16.8 left on the clock. And Flowers at the stripe. He's got the front end, will get the bonus.
Do you like this kid, Will?
I do. I do.
He's got a little swagger to him.
Well, point guards need that. Steady with number 2. A long look. Got them both. Substitution.
Still in there.
So Richardson sits down, and Terrell comes in for Sac. And Capital brings in a couple of subs. They've got their pressure guys in there with 16.8. Whistle and a foul. Well, the Dragons trying to hold on here, Phil, up 5.
All they need is 1 free throw. Well, I guess not because you make 2 threes, but certainly 2 free throws makes it a 3-possession game, and it would be over. It's long shot at best, but.
Well, they've been steady up there in this quarter alone, 4 for 6, and on the night, 12 for 17. So Miles Lewis drops number 1 for his.
Do you remember Charles Standifer?
I do.
Charles led a team back at Galt. We were down by like 9 with 40 seconds to go, and Charles willed us to a win. So that was the greatest comeback I've ever known for Capital to have. But that makes it more difficult.
That
right
does
there.
indeed. 59-52 on pair of free throws for Miles Lewis, who's had himself a nice ball game. 14 points.
Lauren and I have our prejudices, but all things aside, I think Sac High's the better club. A little more mature. When you look at how they're physically a little stronger.
Well, the maturity factor.
Yeah.
However, it will be interesting to note how things shake out when the Dragons go over to Capital in the rematch.
Yeah. Looks like Boo's got a good team up at Vista. And I don't know, who else have you seen in the league?
I've seen El Camino. They were 13-1 before they got handled here 2 nights ago. Rio I have not seen, but Coach Woolman gave them some nice compliments.
Yeah, Brad Davis said they were a nice team. He was on the coach.
And Vista, they had Grant on the hook late in the 4th at the Cordova Christmas Classic.
Winning team in league get 2 losses. You still win it?
Boy, that's a great question right there. It's going to be tight.
You going to answer it off air, not on air?
Okay, Cougars up the floor, 10 seconds to go.
Got to be urgent here, boys. Got to be urgent.
Tapped away and stolen by Talmadge. Blocked out of bounds to the Dragons. Well, I suppose that's a fitting way for Talmadge to punctuate a nice performance.
Yes.
Last play of the game ball. So Sacramento High School has an impressive second half, and they are able to pull away for a 59-52 victory over visiting Capital Christian in a very competitive basketball game, and we had an excellent opportunity to see a number of younger players in tonight's contest, Phil.
Yes, I mean, I think for Capital, I really like Darian Williams, really like Jonah. Caden Flowers did a good job.
We are going to step away for a break, and when we come back, Lauren Goodman will be visiting with our players of the game in our post-game segment. Don't wander off.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Sorry, I almost killed you. We've all been misunderstood. I'm not a fighter.
I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
With the right support, everyone can reach their full potential because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The verdict is in and the decision is final this evening in Oak Park, where tonight at Sacramento High School's Dave Hotel Pavilion in a Capital Athletic League collision course game, host Sacramento broke a halftime tie and put together a very strong and effective second half to stop visiting Capital Christian by a final count of 59-52. It was an exciting ball game, though lower scoring than we may have imagined. Nevertheless, lots of intense, excellent play in tonight's contest. And we did manage to fill out our ballots and select our choices for players of the game. And we'll present that graphic to you now to illustrate which players captured that honor. Senior gunner Preston Hall of Capital Christian turned in a fine performance this evening for the visiting Cougars, and for host Sacramento High, the Dragons' top scorer Isaiah Talmadge led all scorers with a game-high 22 points that featured a couple threes and a couple of slams. Lauren Goodman is standing by with our players of the game. Lauren?
Thanks, Will. Tonight we had two outstanding players show it all over the floor tonight. First for Capital, I have Preston Hall. You had big-time numbers tonight. How excited were you to play a good game?
I'm more into winning, but I just try to go out there every night and do what I can do to get the W. But tonight we didn't come out with the win. But
as a senior and your leadership being so big, how important is it for you to lead this group in a positive way?
I understand that we have such a young core. I just know I got to show them how to win, because not a lot of them have played varsity. So I try to go out there and lead as an example so they can follow.
Now, you were scoring in some runs there, putting some buckets together. When you're scoring like that, how comfortable are you?
Anytime I'm on the court, I feel comfortable. I know that all the work that I put in is going to correlate to the court, but I just try to get out there and get a W.
I know your season hasn't been, or the record doesn't look how you want it to, but how much are you proud of your team, and how confident are you after this game?
Oh, we played some really hard teams, been in national tournaments, San Diego and Las Vegas, and we came out with some wins. So this is just a start. We're going to start winning more, and stay tuned. That's all I can say, stay tuned.
Good luck on the rest of the season, Preston. Thank you. Now for the Dragons, I have the high flyer, Isaiah. I don't think it was a moment where you weren't all over the court. How huge is it for you to get a win at home tonight?
It's huge because it's just huge in front of home crowd, on TV. We needed this.
Now, your preparation coming into tonight, I know you know all about Capital, but how focused were you and the Dragons coming in?
We were very focused. We went over film all day, every day until this game. Even before the game, we were still practicing for Capital, and we executed every play we needed to execute.
Now, you've been kind of the lone horse leader here, 2 years now leading the varsity helm. What type of tradition or legacy do you want to leave here at Sac High, making this new Sac High team?
I just want to be known for somebody, one of the freshmen, to take my spot and be able to do what I do and control the court and get up in the air and, make the crowd excited.
Thank you so much, Isaiah. Good game tonight. Now for the home winning coach, long-time friend, Coach Earl. Tonight was a big game for your team. How proud of you of your guys?
I'm really proud because I have been challenging them for the last couple of days on the defensive end. The championship game of our tournament, we didn't play well at all. So I challenged our team ever since then on the defensive end. And my guards tonight, Miles Lewis and Micah Scott Kelly, I've been really on them the last couple games about defense, and they gave me what I wanted tonight.
Now, Coach, good thing that you brought both of those names up. Both of those players, Micah and Miles, had big-time second half, third quarter for Micah, fourth quarter for Lewis. How big is that as an addition with Isaiah?
Well, here's the thing. Micah was struggling in the first half. We went in the locker room, we talked about it, and we got on him. And he responded well. Miles has a big burden. So sometimes he overdoes it because he tries to make plays all the time. And teams are scheming for him now. But he came up big, as you saw. And we just still iron out some kinks with those two. Once they get it down, they could beat two of the better guards around.
Now, I know Sac High is known for the high flyers and the legacy and the D1 players, but you have a special new group here. And what are you trying to build and develop with this young group that you have?
Well, first of all, what we're trying to tell them is our program is based on defense. The crowd loves to see us play defense, and right now we're not there yet. Once we get to the point where we're playing the type of defense that we're known for as a program, everything else will come into play. These guys can score. They can score the ball. This was a grimy game tonight. Half-court, grimy game against a good team, which usually we kind of struggle or come up short because it was physical. So we were physical tonight. So I'm proud of the guys.
Coach, a matchup with Capital that you normally don't see in league. How has this realignment changed the coaching staff at Sac High and the players?
Well, let me tell you something. No disrespect to the Metro League. We were in the Cal League before, and it's night in and night out. You will prepare. You go to Del Campo, you're in trouble. We'll be going to Vista this year, you're going to be in trouble. So you go to Capital, you're going to be in trouble. They're going to have great student bodies, and the kids are going to play hard. This is, like I said, we got them here, and we were at home. We needed every bit of our home crowd to get this one. So they'll be waiting for us when we go over there.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach. Really good on the win. Will?
Thank you very much, Lauren. I appreciate Coach Allen's candor. Realistically appraising now the new strength of this realigned Cal.
Yeah, I like his comments. I think I think not knowing him, I'm very impressed with how he handled the game, how he prepared, and he's got the right priorities. He's got the right priorities. He's gonna like McCall. These two storied programs are in good hands.
Well, I always enjoy it and appreciate when coaches emphasize defense. You know, the media has trained us to look at scoring totals, flash plays, that kind of thing. But I just love great defense when I see it being played. And to hear a coach having that want to be a staple of their ball club, what they're known for and so forth, I like that to be brought out the way Coach Allen did.
Yeah, and I think that at the high school and college level in particular, defense can win. You know, at the pro level, you got to be able to score. But at this level, solid defense. They won it not tonight because of their offense. They won it, like the coach said, because they nailed it on defense.
They did indeed. And, of course, as we know, when you play the tough D, it turns into offense. And that's the nature of putting out the effort on the defensive end, is how that will equate to what you can do. So an excellent early season test for both teams now. Capital, as Coach Allen said, they needed all their home crowd to withstand, you know, a tougher league opponent that hasn't traditionally been in their conference. And he's going to circle the wagons when he goes over to Capital later.
Like we talked about, I think the key here, Coach, defend home court and steal a few wins, especially against the better teams on the road. If you do that, you're going to be fine at the end of the year.
I'm really excited about these realignments. This is the old Cal back when I played in the Cal, and I understand every game is important, especially for both of these teams that are going to be at the top of the conference, hopefully. But those road games are going to be difficult. Like Coach talked about, Vista Del Lago, we got an opportunity to see their ball club. They're pretty good, El Camino. But you got to deal with those crowds, support, fans. I mean, like he said, I love the Metro, but there's a different type of support in fan base in the Cal League.
Well, what's interesting is when do you play them? Play them on a Friday, it's a big crowd. You play them on a Tuesday or Wednesday, it's a lesser crowd. So a lot of it is the luck of the draw when you play those tougher teams.
I think it's still going to be the draw. I think when you wear a Sac-High jersey, you just know everybody's going to be at the game. Everybody comes out to see the Dragons play, and this is going to be another opportunity. Coach Earl is used to this type of environment and this atmosphere. It's just getting his players acclimated, as well as for Coach Woolman, getting his players acclimated to this new competition.
Well, we've talked about the Cal. We've talked about Metro. Next week on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week, it'll be Delta League action where the Thundering Herd of Elk Grove will gallop into the confines of Franklin High to face the Wildcats. That's 1 week from tonight. Change of venue, change of league. Some hot teams right there piling up double-digit wins early on. That'll be good.
Yes, Elk Grove has a lefty shooter that I'm really excited to see, young kid. And then Franklin is well coached and know what they're going to bring. So it's going to be a really good game next week.
Well, those are storied schools, too, that have won. And when you think of them, you think of their excellent basketball programs.
So that's the way we have it set up for you next week. And tonight it shakes out to an exciting contest here in this CAL matchup as host Sacramento has a big second half to take control and then withstand a late push by visiting Capital Christian to emerge with a 59-52 victory in tonight's contest. Well, the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew and Access Sacramento would like to extend deep appreciation to the Sac-High administration, particularly to Athletic Director Greg Norris and the home staff here. And a reminder that, again, our game next week will be out in the Delta League territory at Franklin High School. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Lauren Goodman, special guest analyst Phil Oates, our key people in the truck, the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you so much for joining us and look forward to the next opportunity when we can get together. From Hotel Pavilion on the campus of Sacramento High School, I'm Will James. So long, everyone.
Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.